The first thing you notice is the hands, calloused, scarred, calm. In small barangays across the Philippines, elders still sit in plastic chairs under mango trees, casually twirling sticks as if they were extensions of their arms. To an outsider, it looks like a game. To those who know, it is survival memory passed down through generations. Filipino martial arts was never created for sport. It was born from invasion, resistance, and the need to protect family when there was no one else coming to help. Long before gyms, belts, or trophies, Filipinos were already fighting for their lives. When foreign invaders arrived on these shores, the natives didn't have armor or steel swords. They had farming tools, fishing blades, and bare hands hardened by labor. What they lacked in equipment, they made up for in adaptability. Every movement had a purpose. Every strike was meant to end a threat, not impress a crowd. That mindset still defines Filipino martial arts today. This is not about looking good. This is about going home alive. Unlike many traditional martial arts that begin with forms and rituals, Filipino martial arts starts with weapons. Because reality starts with weapons. Sticks, blades, improvised tools, umbrellas, pens, bottles, anything can become an extension of the body. The logic is simple. If you can survive a blade, you can survive an empty hand. In training, students don't memorize choreographed dances. They learn angles, distance, timing, awareness. They learn how to move when panic hits, how to stay functional when adrenaline floods the body. There is no fantasy here, only what works. A farmer defending his land, a mother protecting her child, a traveler cornered in a dark alley. Filipino martial arts doesn't assume fairness. It assumes chaos. Practitioners are taught that fights are fast, ugly, and unpredictable. There are no referees, no rules, no guaranteed second chances. That honesty is what makes it so effective for real-world self-defense. One instructor puts it simply, "We don't train to fight. We train to survive." Footwork is emphasized because standing still gets you hurt. Hands are trained to feel rather than see because darkness and confusion are always part of real violence. Attacks are met with counterattacks, not blocks that freeze the body. There is a constant flow. Strike, move, strike again. Because hesitation can cost everything. What separates Filipino martial arts from many systems is its adaptability. Techniques are not rigid. If something fails, you adjust instantly. If a weapon breaks, you keep moving. If the environment changes, you use it. Walls, chairs, gravel, doorways, everything matters. This is why military and law enforcement units across the world quietly adopt Filipino martial arts into their training. Not because it looks impressive, but because it works under pressure. Because it translates in confined spaces. Because it prepares the mind as much as the body. But beyond effectiveness, there is something deeply human at its core. Training often happens in backyards, basketball courts, or open fields. Elders teach not for money, but for legacy. Stories are shared between drills. Laughter mixes with discipline. Respect is earned through humility, not dominance. Students are reminded that skill comes with responsibility. The goal is not to hurt others. The goal is to avoid violence whenever possible. And if violence is unavoidable, to end it quickly and escape. In Filipino martial arts, ego is a liability. Overconfidence is punished immediately. The system teaches you how vulnerable the human body truly is, including your own. That awareness builds caution, not arrogance. Practitioners learn to read intent, to de-escalate when possible, to leave situations before they turn dangerous, because the highest level of self-defense is awareness. There are no flashy kicks that risk balance, no spinning moves that expose the back. Everything stays grounded, efficient, brutally honest. Even empty-hand techniques mirror weapon movements, reinforcing muscle memory that remains reliable under stress. The body is trained to respond naturally, not theatrically. This is why Filipino martial arts ages well. Elder practitioners may slow down, but their efficiency increases. They rely less on strength and more on timing, angles, and positioning. It is not a young man's art. It is a survivor's art. In modern cities, where danger doesn't announce itself, Filipino martial arts remains relevant. A sudden grab, a concealed weapon, multiple attackers, uneven terrain. These are realities the system acknowledges, not ignores. Training prepares you for uncertainty, not perfection. And perhaps most importantly, Filipino martial arts teaches respect for life. Because when you understand how fragile the body is, you become careful with your actions. Violence stops being entertainment and becomes the last resort it should always be. This is why many practitioners describe the art as quiet confidence. No need to prove anything. No need to posture. Just readiness. Filipino martial arts is not about domination. It is about coming home. It is the art of people who had no choice but to adapt, who learned to protect what mattered, who passed knowledge hand to hand, generation to generation. In a world full of illusions, it remains real. And that is why, when it comes to self-defense, Filipino martial arts is not just effective. It is honest.